What if everything was invisibly connected? Right now, as you watch this video, something extraordinary is happening. Your brain is processing these words, but did you know that every thought you're having is creating ripples across quantum fields that extend beyond your skull? That the bacteria in your gut are influencing your mood in ways science is only beginning to understand? That trees in forests thousands of miles away are communicating through underground networks that make the internet look primitive? What if I told you that everything, and I mean everything, in this universe is connected by invisible threads so intricate, so profound, that we're only just discovering the first hints of this cosmic web? Welcome to a journey that will forever change how you see reality itself. The quantum web that binds us all. Let's start with something that sounds like science fiction, but is actually scientific fact. In 1964, physicist John Stuart Bell proved something that still makes scientists uncomfortable. Particles that have once interacted remain mysteriously connected, no matter how far apart they drift. Einstein famously called this spooky action at a distance, and he wasn't comfortable with it either. But here's where it gets mind-bending. These quantum connections aren't just laboratory curiosities. They're happening right now, in your body, in the air around you, in the light streaming from your screen. Every atom in your body was once part of a star that exploded billions of years ago. Those atoms have been connected through quantum entanglement across cosmic distances and eons of time. Think about this. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, the oxygen in your lungs. They've all maintained quantum relationships since they were forged in the nuclear furnace of dying stars. You're not just made of star stuff. You're connected to star stuff across the entire universe through invisible quantum threads. Dr. Stuart Hameroff, an anesthesiologist and consciousness researcher, has proposed something even more radical. He suggests that the microtubules in our neurons might be quantum computers, processing information through quantum entanglement. If he's right, your consciousness itself might be part of a vast, invisible network that extends far beyond your physical brain. But quantum mechanics is just the beginning of this story. The secret language of chemistry. Every second, your body performs approximately 37 trillion chemical reactions. That's not a typo. 37 trillion. But here's what's truly remarkable. Many of these reactions are coordinated across vast distances within your body through chemical signals that travel at the speed of light. When you feel attracted to someone, when you sense danger, when you suddenly crave a particular food, these aren't just random biological events. They're part of an intricate chemical communication network that connects every cell in your body to every other cell, creating a biological internet more sophisticated than anything humans have ever built. But this chemical web extends far beyond your skin. Pheromones, chemical messages that float invisibly through the air, are constantly being exchanged between you and everyone around you. You're literally breathing in the chemical signatures of other people's emotions, stress levels, and even genetic compatibility. Scientists have discovered that mothers can identify their newborn babies by scent alone within hours of birth. That people living together begin to synchronize their biological rhythms. That we can literally smell fear, attraction, and even certain diseases on other people. You're not walking through an empty world. You're swimming through an ocean of invisible chemical information that connects you to every living thing around you. The underground internet of trees. In 1997, forest ecologist Suzanne Simard made a discovery that revolutionized our understanding of nature. She found that trees in forests are connected by vast underground networks of fungal threads called mycorrhizae. But these aren't just random connections. They're sophisticated communication networks. Mother trees, the largest and oldest trees in a forest, can have over 300 connections to other trees through this underground web. They use it to share resources, sending nutrients to struggling saplings, warning neighboring trees about insect attacks, and even, in their final days, downloading their accumulated wisdom to the next generation. But here's the truly astounding part. This network extends across entire continents. A single fungal organism in Oregon covers over 2,400 acres and is estimated to be over 8,000 years old. It connects thousands of trees across hundreds of square miles, creating a forest-scale mind that processes information and makes collective decisions. When you walk through a forest, you're not just seeing individual trees. You're witnessing the visible parts of a vast, ancient intelligence that has been thinking, planning, and communicating for millennia. And forests aren't alone in this hidden connectivity. The invisible bonds of living systems. Your gut contains approximately 100 trillion bacterial cells. That's more than the number of human cells in your entire body. These bacteria aren't just passive passengers. They're active participants in your mental and emotional life. They produce over 95% of your body's serotonin, the neurotransmitter that regulates mood, sleep, and appetite. Scientists have discovered that changing the bacterial composition of a mouse's gut can completely alter its personality, making anxious mice bold and confident, mice fearful. They've found that certain gut bacteria can influence autism spectrum behaviors, depression, and even decision-making patterns. You think you're making choices, but how many of your decisions are actually being influenced by the invisible microbial ecosystem living inside you? When you crave chocolate or feel suddenly anxious, are those your thoughts? Or are they the chemical whispers of bacteria trying to shape your behavior to meet their needs? This microbial influence extends far beyond individual bodies. Recent research has shown that the bacterial communities in different people's guts can synchronize when they spend time together. Families share not just genes, but microbial ecosystems that influence behavior patterns across generations. We are not just connected to other humans through culture and communication. We're literally sharing the microbial minds that shape our thoughts and feelings. The electromagnetic field of consciousness. Every living cell in your body generates its own electromagnetic field. Your heart produces an electromagnetic field 60 times greater in amplitude than your brain, and 5,000 times stronger than the field produced by your brain. This field can be detected up to 10 feet away from your body. But here's where it gets interesting. These electromagnetic fields aren't just detectable. They're interactive. When people sit close to each other, their electromagnetic fields begin to synchronize. Their heartbeats start to align. Their brainwaves begin to match. Scientists have found that when people are deeply connected, through love, friendship, or even just focused attention, their electromagnetic fields create what researchers call energetic coherence. They become, in a very real sense, electromagnetically entangled. This might explain phenomena that have puzzled humans for millennia. Why some people seem to sense when they're being watched. Why mothers wake up the moment their children are in distress. Why some individuals appear to have genuine telepathic experiences with loved ones. We are not just biological machines operating in isolation. We're electromagnetic beings, constantly transmitting and receiving invisible signals that connect us to the world around us. The cosmic web of gravity and space-time zoom out from the biological and electromagnetic connections, and you discover that space itself is not empty. It's a dynamic, interconnected fabric where every mass, from subatomic particles to galaxy clusters, creates ripples and curves that influence every other mass in the universe. When you lift your hand, you're not just moving matter through empty space. You're creating gravitational waves that propagate outward at the speed of light, eventually reaching every corner of the universe. These waves are incredibly tiny, smaller than 1,000th the width of a proton, but they connect every action you take to the cosmic web of space-time itself. In 2015, scientists detected gravitational waves from two black holes that collided 1.3 billion years ago. The ripples from that cosmic collision traveled across the universe and passed through your body at the exact moment the detectors recorded them. You were literally touched by an event that happened before complex life existed on Earth. But gravitational waves are just one aspect of cosmic connectivity. Dark matter, which makes up 27% of the universe, forms an invisible scaffolding that connects galaxies across billions of light years. Dark energy, comprising 68% of the universe, creates an accelerating expansion that influences the fate of every atom in existence. You exist within a cosmic web so vast and intricate that every movement you make sends ripples across space-time, connecting you to black holes, distant galaxies, and the fundamental structure of reality itself. The information field that remembers everything. Perhaps the most mysterious connection of all involves information itself. Quantum mechanics tells us that information cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed or hidden. Every interaction, every thought, every fleeting moment creates an informational imprint that somehow persists in the structure of reality. Some physicists propose that the universe itself might be a vast information processing system, with consciousness arising from the universe's attempt to understand itself. If this is true, then every conscious moment you experience adds to a growing cosmic database of awareness. Carl Jung spoke of the collective unconscious, a shared psychological space where the experiences of all humanity accumulate. Modern quantum theories suggest something even more profound, that consciousness might be a fundamental feature of the universe, as basic as matter and energy, and that individual minds might be temporary fluctuations in a universal field of awareness. When you have a sudden insight, when you experience déjà vu, when you feel inexplicably connected to a place you've never been, you might be tapping into information fields that connect you to experiences far beyond your individual life. The ripple effects of every choice. Understanding these invisible connections reveals something profound about the nature of existence. There are no truly isolated events. Every thought you think, every word you speak, every action you take sends ripples through quantum fields, electromagnetic networks, chemical systems, and informational structures that extend far beyond what you can see or measure. When you choose kindness over cruelty, you're not just affecting one person. You're creating electromagnetic coherence that can influence everyone in your vicinity. When you make decisions based on love rather than fear, you're literally changing the quantum state of your body, which influences the bacterial ecosystem in your gut, which affects your chemical signals, which impacts everyone you encounter. Scientists have found that emotional states are contagious through multiple invisible pathways. Negative emotions create electromagnetic discord that can be detected and transmitted to others. Positive emotions create coherent field effects that can synchronize groups of people and even influence the growth patterns of nearby plants. You are not a separate entity having experiences in an isolated bubble. You are a conscious node in an infinite web of connections, simultaneously influencing and being influenced by quantum fields, electromagnetic patterns, chemical networks, and informational structures that extend across the entire universe. The future of invisible connections. As our understanding of these hidden networks deepens, we're developing technologies that can tap into and amplify these natural connections. Brain-computer interfaces that read electromagnetic patterns, quantum computers that process information through entangled particles, biotechnology that can modify bacterial ecosystems to influence health and behavior. But perhaps more importantly, we're beginning to understand that we already possess natural abilities to sense and influence these invisible networks. Meditation practices that synchronize brainwaves, intention-setting techniques that influence quantum probability fields, healing modalities that work through electromagnetic field coherence. Ancient wisdom traditions have long spoken of the interconnectedness of all things. Modern science is now providing the mechanisms for understanding how this interconnection actually works. We're discovering that mysticism and physics are describing the same underlying reality from different perspectives. The choice that changes everything. So what does all this mean for you? Right now, as you process this information, you're at a crossroads. You can continue living as if you're a separate entity in a disconnected world, or you can embrace the reality that you are intimately connected to everything that exists. Every interaction becomes more meaningful when you understand that you're exchanging quantum information, electromagnetic fields, chemical signals, and consciousness itself with everyone you encounter. Every choice becomes more significant when you realize that your decisions send ripples through invisible networks that can influence outcomes across vast distances and timescales. The question isn't whether you're connected to everything. Science has proven that you are. The question is whether you'll choose to live in alignment with this profound truth. When you understand that your thoughts influence quantum fields, that your emotions create electromagnetic ripples, that your actions send information cascading through networks of unimaginable complexity, you begin to recognize the incredible responsibility and power that comes with simply being alive. You are not just a witness to the universe. You are an active participant in its unfolding, connected to everything that has ever existed, and everything that ever will exist through invisible threads of quantum entanglement, electromagnetic resonance, chemical communication, and pure information. The next time you look at the world around you, remember, you're not seeing separate objects in empty space. You're seeing the visible manifestations of an infinite web of connections that makes the entire universe a single, interconnected, conscious system. And you, yes you, are an irreplaceable part of that cosmic web, forever connected to everything through bonds that are as real as they are invisible. The universe is not a collection of separate things. It's a single, unified system pretending to be many. And now that you know this truth, you can never unsee the invisible connections that make all existence one magnificent, interconnected whole.